My name is Glen DePasse, and been an artist all my life through high school and college. I was a welded steel sculptor, screen printer, and a painter, and then after that I moved to Florida and was a graphic artist for 12 years at a design company. And I quit there, and at some point I opened a custom picture framing business, and then sold that, and I went into corporate sales for about 7 years, and finally decided to quit that and get back into my art. I set a photo studio up in my home and started experimenting with different textiles and balsa wood and things like that, and I came up with, serendipitously, this process of manipulating textiles and then setting them up, what I call a setup on a large 7x4 foot rig that I made so I could suspend them in different directions and different layers. And then I just started shooting and experimenting, and after the course of time, it developed into what I have now. It started with a few black and whites that were very simple. Some of those are on my website, and to the point where I do very extensive front and back lighting and airbrushing on fabric. Some of the setups, I think the longest one for the piece Sleepless was probably a 16-hour process. I started early in the morning, didn't finish till early the next morning, went straight through. And I get this great zen in my studio, sitting there at night with my music on. I shoot at night so I don't have any invasive lighting or invasive phone calls and interruptions. And I get lost in it. I've got quite a catalog of work. I've got a variety of different genres on there that are mostly done with the altered fabric work. But I do have some other stuff on there that is textural, where I have a paint kit that has powdered chalks, acrylics, spray bottles, brushes, a sweeper, and I'll find condemned buildings or construction sites where there's a lot of debris laying around, a lot of rusted material, weathered material, and I'll usually sneak in there if I don't have permission. And I set a tripod up, and I'll go ahead and apply powdered chalks or colors to those surfaces, and I'll spray them down with water to see how they flow. And depending on the direction of the sun, I'll go and start shooting off I've got a 4-foot armature on my tripod. I'll shoot down into those images, and then I bring those back, and that's a whole different series. I call that alter, alter in French. That's a whole other series, but it's the only different one on my website. The first show I entered was the Gasparilla show in Tampa, and I won the Emerging Artist Award there. The second show I entered was the Martinis and Matisse, the largest black tie event in Clearwater for art. I won first place in two-dimensional art there. And then I put a small piece in a Tampa Regional show and won an honorable mention there. And then the fourth show I entered was the 33rd Alliance of the Arts in Fort Myers just recently, and I won an honorable mention there. And that was pretty satisfying. 650 artists submitted, only 60 were chosen, and 5 awards were given out. So it's, I'm on track here, and it's a change of life, and I enjoy what I do, and I'm getting a good response.